Hello everyone, I am Sarita Rawat, Assistant Professor, School of Pharmacy, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. Today we will start our next lecture of pharmacology. Today's topic is sulfonamide. We have already studied about chemotherapy, basic introduction of chemotherapy and antimicrobial therapy. So today's our topic is sulfonamide. Learning objective of today's lecture include basic principle of sulfonamide, history of sulfonamide, principle of sulfonamide therapy, classification of sulfonamide, goals of sulfonamide therapy. Now, learning outcome of today's lecture included the student you are able to know about, understand basic principle of sulfonamide therapy, classification, adverse effect and mechanism of action of sulfonamide. What is sulfonamide? So they are the first effective chemotherapeutic agents to be used, employed systematically for the prevention and cure of bacterial infection in humans. And the discovery of penicillin and subsequent of other antibiotics has dismantled the usefulness of the sulfonamide. So, sulfonamide are the first antimicrobial agent that are effective against pathogenic bacterial infections. Sulfonamides was one of the dye that are induced by Gomger to treat experimental Streptococcus infection and in mice and found it to be highly effective. So by 1937, it became clear that potential was broken down in the body to release sulfonamide, which was the active antibacterial agent. So, a large number of sulfonamides were produced and used extensively in the subsequent year. But because of their rapid emergence of bacterial resistance and the availability of many safer and more effective antibiotics, so their currently utilization is limited, expected in the combination with trimethoprim as quatramaxole or primethoprim for malaria. So, sulfonamide presently occupies small place in the therapeutic ammunitions of the physician. So, in 1970, however, the combination of trimethoprim and sulfamethoxazole has increased the use of sulfonamides for the treatment and prophylaxis of specific microbiological disease. So, when we talk about the sulfonamide history, okay, so we see that Domag tested the new compound as azodie, that is prontosol, and observed that mice with streptococcal and other infection could be protected by the prontosols, that is active metabolite was sulfonamide, and was very useful in the powerful for the sepsis and the meningococcal infection. So, subsequently, carbonic anhydride inhibitors, type of diuretics, and sulfonylurea hypoglycemic agent, followed by the obsessive made with the sulfonic antibiotic. So we have used sulfonamide with the combination of various other disease or other medication also to cure a particular kind of disease. For the discovery of the therapeutic value of prontosols, Demag was awarded Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1938. So he invented the sulfonamide, so he got the Nobel Prize in 1938. Now, sulfonamide, the effect on microbes, how it work on microbes, what is the mechanism of sulfonamide in microbes. So, wide range of antimicrobial activity against both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. So, it means it's play a role like wide spectrum antibiotics. But now, resistant strain have become common and usefulness of these agents has diminished. So it is very useful agent, but at the same time it is like more likely to have resistance with the particular strain. So that's why its use is nowadays very limited. The sulfonamide exert only bacteriostatic actions, cellular and humoral defense mechanism of the host are essential for the final eradication of the infection. So it is like it only have the bacteriostatic properties, but when we talk about the antibacterial spectrum of sulfonamide, so resistance is increasingly a problem. Still, sensitive strains are most of the like Streptococcus pathogenesis, Haemophilus, and Ducrei influenzae, Vibrio cholerae, and Clindomycobacterium, and granulomatous. So these are the bacteria like which are mostly resistant to the sulfonamide. So because of its resistance property, it is not that much widely used. Now, sulfonamide, few strains of Staphylococcus aureus, pneumococci, meningococci, and gonococci, E. coli, and Cinderella are sensitive. Most of the strains are resistant to the bacteria, to the drug sulfonamide. Now, anaerobes are not sensitive to the sulfonamide. Clindamyces are causing trachoma and lymphogranular and inclusion conjunctivitis and actinomyces, Noquita, and toxoplasma are sensitive to the sulfonamide. Now, when we talk about the mechanism of action of sulfonamide, so basically sulfonamide are the structure analog and competent antagonist of para-amino benzoic acid. So they are competitive antagonist of PABA. Now they prevent normal bacterial utilization of PABA for the synthesis of folic acid. So that is especially sulfonamide are competitive inhibitors of dihydropatroate synthesis. So bacterial enzyme responsible for the incorporation of PABA into the dihydropatriotic acid. So it immediate precursor of the folic acid. So it inhibit there, and then it is not able to combine with the PABA. So sensitive organisms are those that must synthesize their own folic acid, and bacterial cell that utilize perform folate are not affected. PABA competitively constructed sulfonamides bacteriostatic action. So sulfonamide do not affect mammalian cells because they require preformed folic acid. Now, as you can see, and they cannot synthesize it. So it is not effectful in the mammalian cell. So as you can see, this is the patridine plus PABA. When we use dihydropaptone synthesis X sulfonamide, so it inhibit and then it will not able to work properly. Now, when we talk about the sulfonamides, its synergistic effect is most active against that exists a synergistic effect with sulfonamide is trimethoprim. So it is a potential and selective competitive inhibitor of microbial dihydrofolate reductase enzyme that reduce the dihydrofolate to the trihydrofolate. So, simultaneously administration of sulfonamide and trimethoprim thus introduce subsequential block in the pathway and kill the bacteria. So, for the better action, we used sulfonamide and trimethoprim in combination so that it is very easy to eradicate the bacteria very fast. Then acquired bacterial resistance to sulfonamide. So it is originated by random mutation and selection or by transfer of resistance by plasmid. So this is the type of resistance is persistence and irreversible. Now maybe due to, so, what is the reason behind the sulfonamide resistance to the bacteria? So, there may be lower affinity of sulfonamide by dihydropeptidate synthesis, or maybe decreased bacterial permeability of active efflux of the drug, or maybe alternative metabolic pathway for the synthesis of essential metabolite, or maybe increase in the production of essential metabolites or drug antagonist, or maybe increased production of PABA is not a constant finding in the sulfonamide resistance, and it can cause bacteria resistance mutation may process an enzyme that are less rarely inhibited by the sulfonamide. So this is the main reason behind the bacterial resistance to the sulfonamide. Now, when we talk about the pharmacokinetics of sulfonamide, so they are absorbed rapidly from GIT except locally acting sulfonamide. So, peak plasma level are achieved in 2 to 6 hours depending on the drug, 100 to 200 μg per ml. So, small intestine is the major site of absorption, but some of the drug absorbed through stomach. Now, absorption from other site, example, vagina, respiratory tract, or absorbed in skin is variable and cause toxic reactions to the susceptible person. All sulfonamide are bound to plasma protein, especially albumin, and distributed throughout all the tissue of the body. Now, they are readily interpleural, paternal, synovial, ocular, and similar body fluid. After systemic absorptions of adequate dose, sulfonamide and sulfasalazole attain concentration in CSF, and which may be effective in the meningeal infections. So, it is very effective in meningococcal infections, that is most likely in the CSF. Now, they reach the fetal circulation in the placenta. In pregnancy, mother can cause toxic as well as antibacterial effect. So, it is like contraindicated in the pregnancy. They undergo metabolic alterations in vivo, especially in liver. Major metabolite in N4 acetylated sulfonamide. So it is excreted from the body partially unchanged and partially as metabolic produce, the largest fractions excreted in the urine. So when we talk about the pharmacokinetic parameters of sulfonamide, so it is easily like absorbed with like systemic circulations, and then it is like it is most commonly goes, it can cross the CSF also, and it is like effective in the meningococcal infections also, and most of the part is excreted in the urine. Now, in acidic urine, the other sulfonamide are insoluble and from crystalline deposit that can cause urinary obstruction. So, small fractions are eliminated in the feces, bile, and milk, etc. So, it can also excrete through the feces, bile, fat, and milk. So we can say it is not like recommended to the breastfeeding mother also. Now, what are the pharmacological property of sulfonamide? So, when we talk about the pharmacological properties of sulfonamide, they are classified into four groups on the basis of rapidly with which they are absorbed and excreted. Now, the class of sulfonamide are based on their absorption, poorly absorption, topically absorption, and long-acting sulfonamide. So, we have absorbed and excreted rapidly. So, for example, we have sulfasolazole and sulfamethoxazole and sulfadiazine. Okay, so these are the absorbed easily, rapidly absorbed and rapidly excreted sulfonamide category. Their serum half life is also mentioned here. Like for the sulfadiazine, we have 10. Now, the next category is poorly absorbed, active in the bowel lumen. So, it includes sulfasalazine is come under poorly absorbed, active in the bowel lumen. Now, topically used sulfonamides, we have sulfacetamide and silver sulfadiazine. Now, long-acting sulfonamide, we have sulfadoxine. It comes into the the serum H half is 100 to 230 hours. Now, when we talk about agents that are absorbed and excreted rapidly, for example, sulfasoxazole and sulfadiazine. So, when we talk about the sulfasoxazole, so they have excellent antimicrobial activity and they have a high solubility, elimination much of the renal toxicity, and it is highly protein binding. Approximately 90%, 95% of a single dose is excreted by the kidney in 24 hours. Concentration in urine, thus it excreted then in the blood and may be bactericidal. So, one third of the blood concentration reaches to the CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. Now, sulfamethoxazole is a conjugation of sulfasoxazole. It is enteric absence and renal excretion is slower. It has a intrinsic absorption and renal excretion there is very slow as compared to sulfasoxazole, and it is given orally and employed for both systemic and urinary tract infections. So, precautions must be taken to avoid crystalluria, that is, take plenty of water if you want to protect crystalluria. Also marketed in fixed dose combination with trimethoprim to enhance its activity. Next, we have sulfadiazine. So, sulfadiazine is given orally, absorbed rapidly from the GI tract, and its peak concentration reaches in 3 to 6 hours after single dose. Fluid intake is must so that 12,000 to 1200 ml urine output is maintained to avoid crystalluria. So whenever you are taking sulfadiazine, you have to take plenty of water so that it can easily excrete it out in the urine, and you are not able to likely have crystalluria as a side effect. So poorly absorbed sulfonamide, we will discuss. The first thing is sulfasalazine. Sulfasalazine. So it is poorly absorbed from the GI tract, therefore used in the therapy of ulcerative colitis and regional ileitis, but relapse occur and by using this drug. So corticosteroids are better, but in mild to moderate form of sulfasalazide is preferred. Now it is broken down by infect bacteria into paradine in active sulfonamide plus 5 amino salicylic acid, which reaches highly level in feces, and 5-aminosol, feces in 5-aminosol, and is the active agent in the inflammatory bowel disease, whereas sulfaparazine is response for toxicity. Example, Hans baby anemia, acute hemolysis in the patient of G6P0 dehydrase enzyme deficiency. So when we use sulfa when we use sulfasalazine, so these are some side effect for sulfasalazine. So it can cause toxicity like hence baby anemia, acute hemolysis in patient of Z6P4 dehydrase enzyme deficiency. Now, when we talk about the G6PD enzyme is required for the regenerations of NADPH, and which is required for the reduction of oxidized glutathione. So reduced glutathione protects the SH dependent enzyme and other proteins against the oxidation. So thus in the prevalence of pro-oxidates like aspirins and nitrofluoroteins and primaquine and chloroquine and quinoline, sulfonamide, vitamins K, etc. In a patient with deficiency of G6PD, there is no protection to RBCs, and so hemolysis occurs. So granulocytosis and many cause relative infertility in males. It can cause infertility in males and agranulocytosis and many other side effects also there for sulfadiazines. Now we have sulfonamide for the topical use. So for example, we have sulfacetamide. So sulfacetamide is a solution, sodium salt of the drug is effectively employed in the ophthalmic infections. Advantage of using sulfacetamide is it has highly aqueous concentration, not irritating to the eyes. The drug penetrates in high concentration it occurs into other fluid and tissue, and its sensitively react are very rare. So sulfadiazine is another drug for topical use. The compound is usually topically to reduce microbial colonization and the incidence of wound from the burns. So one of the agent of choice for the preventive of the burn infections, or other is mefenite. So if any person is having some burn, so they can definitely use sulfadiazines for some topical treatment. Now we have long-acting sulfonamide. So for example, we have sulfadoxine. So it have a long half-life, more than like 7 to 9 days, and it is used in the combination with primethamine, that is 500 mg sulfadoxine plus 25 mg pyrimethamine, and as a findizer in prophylaxis of treatment of malaria, and it can cause by the resistant strains of Plasmodium falciparum. So it can be used in malaria treatment also. Now, what is sulfonamide therapy? What is the basis of sulfonamide therapy? So, when we see it has various conditions for which the sulfonamide are the therapeutically useful and constitute DOC has been reduced sharply, and the development of the more effective antimicrobial agent and a gradual increase in the resistance of no number of bacteria species to this class of the drug lead to rare use of this agent, and the introduction of trimethoprim and sulfametazole combination has revised the use of sulfonamide. So when we talk about the sulfonamide therapy, it has a very large variety of uses in very other to cure very other bacterial infections. But at the same time, it has like very it has increased the resistance for number of bacterial species, so that we have introduced it with the combination of trimethoprim and sulfametazole to enhance to synergism the effect of sulfonamide. So now when we see the urinary tract infections, so the use of sulfonamide are no longer a therapeutic choice in the UTI. Preferred agent are trimethoprim and sulfametazole, quinolines, trimethoprim alone, for, phosphomycin, ampicillin, and cephalosporin. So, sulfasolazole may be used effectively. So when we talk about the urinary tract infections, earlier the sulfonamide are used like very widely, but nowadays the preferred agent is in the combination of trimethoprim and sulfametazole, and also quinolines is used in UTIs. Trimethoprim alone is used in UTI infections, and for phosphomycin is used in UTIs, ampicillin is used in UTI, and cephalosporins are widely used to cure the UTI infection. And sometimes sulfasolazole is effective in UTI's treatment. Now, nocardiosis. Nocardiosis in good response with sulfonamide, example sulfasolazole and sulfadiazine, mostly used for to cure the nocardiosis infection. So dose is 6 to 8 gram, and they continued for several months. So the dosing we required for 6 to 8 gram per day to like several months. So the second antibiotic along with the sulfonamide is recommended. So to cure the nocardiosis, we have to suggest that you have to use other antibiotic in combination of sulfonamide also. In advanced cases, example ampicillin and erythromycin. So it is used with a combination of ampicillin and erythromycin in some serious or advanced stages. Now we have toxoplasmosis. So in toxoplasmosis, sulfadiazine is used in 1 gram with a combination of primethamine 75 mg loading and 25 mg later on, and it given in 6 hourly into 3 to 6 weeks with the folic acid 10 mg orally. So for toxoplasmosis, sulfonamide is used with a combination of primethamine, and the dosing is like starting dose is 75 mg, then it is settled with the 25 mg, and it given in 6 hourly for 3 to 6 weeks, and folic acid is also recommended with this combination in 10 mg orally. Now treatment and prophylaxis of resistance malaria. So sulfonamide is also used in malaria with the combination. So sulfonamide plus primethamine, that is also came into fancier, and use of sulfonamide for prophylaxis also. They are as effective as penicillins in the to prevention of streptococci infections and recurrence of rheumatoid fever. Then when we talk about the ophthalmic infections, so topical agent we can use in the ophthalmic agent and topical sulfonamide we can use. So for example, we have sulfacetamide we can use for ophthalmic infections to cure some ophthalmic infections with sulfonamide. Then in the infection of burn, we can use topical silver sulfadiazines to cure burns. Now, what are the adverse reactions of sulfonamide using sulfonamide? So, distribution of urinary tract, disturbance of urinary tract. So, what is the side effect, adverse effect in urinary tract? So, it can disturb the urinary tract. For example, risk of crystalluria, and many drugs have the side effect of crystalluria while using the sulfonamide. So high with older, less solution sulfonamide, but very less with the more solution agent. For example, sulfa, sulfasoxazole. So when we use like sulfasoxazole, it has very side effect of crystalluria, and if fluid intake should be sufficient daily. Ensure urine output 1200 ml, and alkalinizations of urine is desirable. So when we talk about the adverse effect of sulfonamide in UTIs, urinary tract, so it can cause crystalluria. So we have to increase the fluid intake so that urinary output will be maintained, and then it can also cause alkalinizations of the urine. Now, disorder of hematopoietic system. So it can also affect on the hematopoietic system. So acute hemolytic anemia. While using sulfonamide, it can the side effect also included acute hemolytic anemia. Sometimes sensitization phenomenon, and in other erythrolytic defense of Z6PO4 dehydrogenase enzyme. So the deficiency of this particular gene will make you acute hemolytic anemia, suffer from acute hemolytic anemia while using the sulfonamide. Then agranulocytosis. So most patients recovered spontaneously with supportive care, but it can cause sulfonamide can cause granulocytosis. Then aplastic anemia. The another side effect of using sulfonamide is it can cause aplastic anemia. So complete supportive of suppression of bone marrow activity with anemia, granulocytopenia, and thrombocytopenia. So it can cause bone marrow activity. It can suppress the bone marrow activity while having anemia, and also cause granulocytopenia and thrombocytopenia while using sulfonamide. Then hypersensitivity reaction. So when we talk about the hypersensitivity reactions, so it can cause in skin and mucous membrane and manifestation, urethrical rash and pemphigoid and purpural and the patches. Patrial and erythema noctuosum and multiforme and Steve Johnson's type. It can also cause Steve Johnson syndromes, and exfoliative dermatitis and photosensitivity reactions are most often occur with the first week of the therapy. It can occur with fever, malaise, and pertussis focal and diffuse necrosis of liver, and fever, headache, malignancy, jaundice, and leading to the yellow atrophy of liver and death. So sulfonamide in sensitivity reaction, it can cause very lethal side effect. It can like take the person's life also. Like you can see, it has very severe side effects, like it can cause Steve Johnson's type symptoms, and erythroma nodosum, and it can cause urethral rashes, and it can cause hepatomalignancy, jaundice, and like atrophy of liver, and it can, in the higher cases, in the very severe cases, it can cause death. Then mice, it can cause mice anorexia, nausea, and vomiting in 1 to 2% in newborn when we take the sulfonamide, and free bilirubin can deposit in the basal ganglia and anti-thalamic nuclei of the brain, causing encephalopathy called carine ichthyosis. So sulfonamide are not given to the pregnant woman near term because these drugs pass through the placenta and secrete in the milk. So sulfonamide is mainly contraindicated in the breastfeeding women and also in the pregnant women, because it can easily go through the placenta and it is secreted in the breast milk also. Now, coming to the drug interactions of sulfonamide, so with oral anticoagulant, sulfonylurea, hypoglycemic agent, and hydantoin, in each case, sulfonamide can potentiate the effect of the other drug by inhibitions of metabolites and possibly displacement from the albumin. So it is contraindicated with oral anticoagulant, sulfonylurea, hypoglycemic agent. Now, when we talk about the sulfonamide combination with trimethoprim, so trimethoprim and sulfamethoxam combination is very effective to cure any kind of antimicrobial agent. It is continuous important advice in the clinically effective in the antimicrobial agent. So when we talk about the combination of trimethoprim and sulfonamide, so we find out it is very effective in the combination. Now, if the drug act on the sequential step in the pathway of an obligatory enzymatic resistance in bacteria, the result of their combination will be synergistic. So if they are causing any they are having any resistance mechanism, sulfonamide alone, so when we give it with trimethoprim, okay, in combination of trimethoprim, so or quadrimaxole, so it can give the best result. And we called it cotrimoxazole. The combination is known as cotrimoxazole. So trimethoprim also come in single entity preparation. Like it is also used alone for to cure many kind of disease. Now, when we see the chemistry of sulfonamide, so trimethoprim is diaminopyrimidine, and when we talk about its spectrum, so is equivalent to the sulfomethoxazole. So along with, although trimethoprim is 20 to 100 times more potent than sulfamethoxazole, and most gram positive and gram negative microorganisms are sensitive, resistance occur when used alone. And Pseudomonas aeruginosa, bacteria, flagells, and Enterococcus are resistant to the trimethoprim. Efficacy of combination is additional microorganisms covered by these combinations like Calibacillia and Staphy, Serratia, Yersinia, Atrococtida, Enterobacteria, Brucella, and abscessus, pertussis, marbiosis, pseudomonas, calibacilla, brucella, and pneumocytosis jabbersi. And many sulfonamide resistant strain of S. pyogenesis, Staphylococcus aureus, Cinderella, E. coli, H. influenza, meningococci, and gonococci become sensitive to this drug. Now, mixed degree of synergism occur when the microorganisms are sensitive to the both component. So, mechanism of action include subsequential block in the folic synthesis occur, and trimethoprim is selective inhibitor of DHFR enzyme of lower organism. About 1 lakh times more drug is required to decrease the human reductase than the bacteria enzyme. So, optimal surgery exhibited at a concentration ratio of sulfomethazole 20 ratio trimethoprim 1. So, this ratio is obtained in the plasma when the two are given in a dose ratio of 5 ratio 1. So we use sulfonamide in the ratio of 1 and ratio of 5, and trimethoprim is ratio of 1. Now, bacterial resistance of trimethoprim is rapidly increasing problem, but lower than the resistance to either drug alone. So, due to the existence of a plasmid that code for an altered DHFR enzyme, however, its resistance to the combination has been shown to develop compared to the either drug alone. Now, when we talk about the absorption, distribution, and excretion of the drug, so constant ratio of 20 ratio 1 in their concentration in blood and tissue is not perfectly matched by two drugs. So the ratio in blood is often greater than 20 ratio 1, and that in tissue is frequently less. And after single oral dose of the combination of like preparation, trimethoprim is absorbed more rapidly than the sulfomethazole. So sulfonamide, the half-life of trimethoprim and sulfamethax is 11 and 10 hours respectively. So 800 mg of sulfamethaxole plus 160 mg of trimethoprim is the combination dose to cure the infection. So the drug rapidly enter in CSF, and sputum high concentration is also found in the bile. Now, about 60% of administration of trimethoprim and 25 to 50% of sulfonamide are exerted in the urine. It excreted in the urine, and its uses mostly include in the UTI complications, so more effective in the chronic and recurrent infections of the UTI in small doses and day or usual doses. Once or twice a week appears to be effective in reducing the number of recurrent UTI in the adult female, and enterobacterial surrounding the urethral orifice may be eliminated or marked red in number, so thus demonstrating the chance of assisting reinfections. And also effective in the bacterial prostatitis. So when we talk about its use in respiratory tract infection, so it is effective in the acute exacerbations of chronic bronchitis. 1 tablet BD is sufficient to decrease the sputum fever and purulence. So effective in acute otitis media in children, and acute maxillary sinuses in the adult, that is caused by H. influenza and Streptococcus pneumoniae. Now, when we talk its therapeutic use in GIT, so alternative to fluoroquinins for cingallosis and second line therapy for typhoid fever. Now, it's also effective in carrier of Streptococcus typhi. And when we talk, it's a therapeutic use in pneumocytosis jirovecii. So it has high dose, is effective for the sensitive infection in the patient of AIDS. And it also the miscellaneous use include, it is used in nocardia, brucellosis, and methyl. Now, it is resistant strains of S. eurosis is also aureus in resistance of strain of S. Streptococcus aureus. The drug is effective. When we talk about the adverse effect of trimethoprim, so it includes more or less same as sulfonamide, and folate deficiency is normal person may problem, and like leukopenia or the thrombocytopenia also may be seen, and 70% 5% of the adverse drug reactions involve skin. Example, dermatitis, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, and toxic epidermal necrosis. And in GIT, it can cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, in rare glycosis, stomatosis, and earlier colitis, hepatitis, jaundice. And in CNS, it can cause headache, depression, hallucination. So this is all about your sulfonamide, trimethoprim, cotrimoxazole. Now I hope you can understand all the things better. And this is the quiz that is related to the particular lecture. So the question include the sulfonamide antibiotic that is used both orally and topically is. You can easily answer it. I have already covered this in your lecture. And the major route of metabolism for such sulfonamide antibiotic is sulfomethaxole is an inhibitor of the sulfonamide antibiotic that will be most non-ionized at pH 8 is, and the sulfonamide that has the poorest oral absorption. Give example of sulfonamide antibiotic metabolism medications. What does it means? If two drugs are synergistic effect, why are sulfa drugs selectively toxic? Give some side effect of sulfonamide, and what is the medication of the mechanism of action of sulfonamide. So as you can see, we have covered all the topics, and these questions are more like very easy, and these are all based on your previous slides, so you can go through that and you can easily answer these questions. Now, reference for today's lecture include Basic and Clinical Pharmacology, the Pharmacological Basis of Therapeutics by Louis Sanford Goldman's, KGT Tripathi, Essential of Medical Pharmacology, and Basic of Clinical Pharmacology, and Textbook of Medical Physiology. So you can easily check out these references for better knowledge and better understanding. Thank you for today's lecture. Thank you for kindly listening to me.